Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Hops at Home, your virtual happy hour during the coronavirus lockdown. I'm Phil Clark at the Britain Yankee Pub Studios, and today very happy to welcome my two co-hosts, Jay and Ken McMullen from Hop Vine Brewing and Jay Rozicki from Malted Tales and Milk Money Brewing. Okay, gentlemen, what are you drinking today? Let's start with Jay, because Jay has a spirally thing coming out of his head. What do you got there, buddy?
I'm drinking some Rumpkin from Avery. This is a 16% pumpkin beer that I found in one of the stores down here in Florida, and I thought I'd give it a shot because nothing like starting out heavy early in the day.
Hell of a head you got on that thing, and an old-time mug going on there, but pumpkin beer this time of year? Come on, man.
No, I know. Everyone's like, oh, pumpkin beer, breweries don't like doing it, but I like every kind, for the most part, I like every kind of beer.
Okay, good man. All right, and then over on the other side is Mr. Ken McMullen. What are you drinking, Ken?
I got a Imperial Raspberry Ale by Shoreline.
Oh.
Aged in a Pinot barrel.
And Shoreline is over in Southwest Michigan, right?
That's Michigan City.
Michigan
Indiana.
City. All right, good. And you can see before me that I have poured out, and we'll just show you how I poured it out, a wonderful Wolfden Doppelbock. Now, this is one that they did in a collaboration. I got my crowler yesterday. Delicious. I'll put that over there. This is one they did in a collaboration with Elmhurst Brewing, and similar to the beer that you're going to release tomorrow, Ken, it was done, each brewery brewed their own batch of the beer. So Elmhurst brewed and did it over some type of wood, and I can't remember which one it was, but this one from Wolfden is done over Andreola wood. Is that right? And apparently it gives some notes of cinnamon and stuff like that. So this is going to be a challenge for me, because you know, guys, how much I like cinnamon. So I'll be trying that. But I would love to introduce over here our two guests of honor for today, and that is Mr. Ed Gimbel and Mr. Brandon and I knew I would bugger it up. What is it again? What is it, Brandon?
Andreola.
Oh, Andreola. Okay. And you guys are sitting in a new craft beer bar that is going to be opening up, we hope soon, once this virus lockdown has happened, in St. Charles. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. It's good to be on.
So tell us a little bit about where you are. I mean, I see behind you some like cartoon pictures. One looks a bit like The Simpsons. Maybe they are. But tell us about where you are, what's going on. You're in Ed's basement, I should say, right?
Yes, that is going to be the name of the bar. Behind us is two of Brandon's favorite cartoon, Rick and Morty. And I made them with PackTex, which are the 4-pack holders that you get from breweries.
They're pretty cool. So what are you gentlemen drinking?
Well, I am drinking Desperado from Jay Wakefield, and Brandon
got a Summer Leaf from Pollyanna.
Cool. And they, of course, are neighbors of yours, right?
Yep, right across the river.
So tell us a little bit about Ed's Basement and your history, because I'm not certain that people are familiar with what your background is. And then tell us why the hell you wanted to open a craft beer bar in a place that has 5 breweries, I think, are going to have.
Yep. Well, I started about 10 years ago with a couple bars. They're called Bigsby's Poorhouse. They're in Addison and Rolling Meadows. And then Brandon started with Alter Brewing. He was the taproom manager over there in Downers Grove. And the two of us were talking, and wanted to start a new bar. With Bigsby's, I've already brewed with most of the breweries here. We did a brewery collab with Pollyanna called Tokamoka at Bigsby's. And then we brewed a beer called CBD with Alter a few years back. And then Riverlands, we were supposed to brew another one, but we're not open yet.
Well, you brewed with Riverland. So did Ken and I, right, Ken?
No, we
Yeah.
were going to. It was on the schedule. Yeah, but it got pushed back since we can't buy any beer yet.
When you say you're going to brew a specific beer that you're only going to serve in your craft beer bar.
Yeah, usually how the collaborations go with the Bigsby's is we'll brew it. I'll come up with the name and the style, and then we'll brew it, and then usually we'll split it or chop it up between my two bars and then their tap room, and then it'll be exclusive. Usually for most of them, we brewed about 11 different collabs with Illinois breweries. So Two Brothers, Maplewood, Mars in the future, and yeah. It's just it's usually exclusive to the bar and then the tap room where we brewed it.
So one thing I know obviously I met Brandon through Alter and through Pollyanna, but how exactly did you two meet, and did you already have this idea for Ed's Basement, or was some of you guys bet, so let's do another one in St. Charles?
We met years ago at Bigsby's, Addison. Yeah, I think it was before Rolling Meadows even opened. But we met years ago, and I wanted to start another bar, and I took Brandon here, and we both just fell in love with it. It is, it's beautiful, beautiful area downtown St. Charles. I'm looking at Main Street. It's a little empty right now, but it is a beautiful downtown area.
So are you ready to open? You're just waiting for this to end?
Well, we slowed down when we still slowed down on construction when they started, with all the news. But we easily could have opened in March. We were shooting for March, but it just kept getting pushed back. So we're taking our time. We went by Pollyanna yesterday and Riverlands. They've been giving us a barrel to do our. I don't know if you guys could see it. I'll give you a little peek real quick. Our bar is made with barrel staves from Pollyanna, Riverlands, and Penrose. So.
And one thing I would like to add is I stopped in there last week, and you guys are doing a bunch of the work yourselves there, and I think that was pretty freaking cool. Number one, because it saves money. Number two, it makes you feel like you're part of it, at least in my opinion, because you built it.
Agreed.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. It's nice to say you built the bar you're standing behind.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
a cool way to put it. And especially with the materials we used are all pretty much reclaimed wood.
Yeah.
Between the barrels and what's some of the things holding the bar up. The bar top is the bowling lane from Wheaton Bowl. They went out of business earlier this year, so we got a lane from them and made it our bar top. The corner pieces are the actual wood that used to hold this building up that we took out of the basement. And, it adds a little bit of history to the bar. Our building I think this building was built in 1903.
Yeah.
So, it's like a blast from the past, bringing some of the old weathered wood up and actually using it for the bar.
Oh, way cool.
Ken, I just wanted to say I love your hat. I mean, I think that's the first time we met years ago, maybe 8 years ago at Midwest Brewers Fest.
You think that's a throwback? Check out my shirt.
Oh,
Temecula.
That was my first brewery in 1999.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Man,
Yeah.
you are old, Ken.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm just amazed that he can still fit into it because, he's put on the pounds like nobody's business, I tell you.
Hey, Ed, are you guys going to have food at your place?
We'll eventually have food. We're shooting for maybe December-ish to build out the kitchen. But in the meantime, we'll be offering local food from Puebla, which is our neighbors, and then Blue Goose, which is the market next door. So a bunch of local foods that are in the downtown area. And then when we do execute our kitchen, we'll probably do, we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff. We're going to do like a little micro garden, a hydroponic and aquaponic micro garden for some of the produce, and then be using it in our menu. It's going to be pretty cool.
If I remember correctly, you told me you guys are going to have more than just beer. You're going to have some other drinks on the menu as well?
Yeah, we'll do quite a bit of local spirits, a bunch of local distilleries. Pollyanna's distilling, Maplewood, and yeah, And Brandon loves his Bloody Mary, so he'll be doing the Bloody Mary recipe.
I actually just made one today.
Of course he did.
You have a favorite beer, Ed?
I don't actually. It's all over the place. I mean, being in the craft beer business, I have to drink everything and know what to look for. But it's probably better to answer the styles I usually don't go for, which is usually reds or cream ales. I'll drink them, but you won't see me order it.
How about you, Brandon?
My favorite beer, honestly, it's been my favorite beer, and it's probably what got me into craft beer. And it's Permanent Funeral from Three Floyds. They used to call it an extra pale ale, and I think now they switched it to a double IPA because it's almost 13%. I think it's like 11.9 or 12.5. But that honestly was the beer that got me into this whole thing, and ever since it's still my favorite. I don't get my hands on it as much, but as I'd like to. But that was the beer that did it for me.
Hey, Brandon, I got to ask you, when you had your hands folded, and especially now, you've got some big guns on those arms. What is the story behind that? Are you like a bodybuilder or something?
When I was younger, I used to be really into weightlifting and stuff like that. And then I got into MMA, which is like mixed martial arts. So for a period of time, I was a professional MMA fighter. And that's kind of what gave me the muscles and stuff like that, But I traded in for craft beer. So I try to keep a balance, though. Keeping the balance is key in life, So fighting and beer, they seemed right, Make bad decisions, whatever.
Are you the bouncer in the place?
If need be. If need be, I can handle those situations. But, this is a real nice neighborhood here. We want to bring the mix of like a craft beer bar here. Like you said, there's 4 or 5 breweries here, and they all do really, really good stuff. But we want to bring it together by bringing all these breweries together in kind of one place to make the craft beer bar here, because we feel like that's kind of what's missing in this neighborhood.
Go ahead.
Once you guys open, are you going to be 7 days a week and lunch and dinner, or just late in the afternoon, or how are you guys going to do that?
Well, we're the place is called Ed's Basement. Brandon and I do live in the suite upstairs, the apartment upstairs, gorgeous apartment upstairs. So we're literally going to be just walking down and working heavy hours. It's almost required for a startup like this. You're putting in 90 hours a week. And so we'll be just waking up, going downstairs and working, and then going back up, go to sleep, and then rinse and repeat. It's just, I don't know if we're going to be doing lunches right off the bat. If we are, Brandon's probably going to be working at it.
I've already figured out the hours, guys. All right, I'll answer it. All right, because I know these are the hours I'm gonna have to work, so I've already decided. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 4 to probably midnight Monday through Thursday, and then we're going to do noon through 1 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday. We might close a little bit earlier on Sunday. I haven't decided just yet, but those are kind of going to be our hours. So
I'm glad you're opening at noon, because us old guys, so we have to come for the 5 o'clock early bird special. So, so one of the things that we always do on the show, or at least have tried to do, is ask all our guests to show us their beer fridge, please.
To be completely honest, you are looking at our beer fridge. When we do pick up beer, like yesterday, we went to Penrose and Riverlands. We end up drinking it all, which is what beer is meant to be. We don't really have a cellar.
And we just recently moved. I actually have a cellar that probably has about anywhere between 150 to 250 bottles, mostly all barrel-aged stuff from different breweries everywhere and anywhere. But when we moved, I don't have the space. So it went into storage. It's cellared in the storage, but I didn't bring any of it yet. Unfortunately.
Here's a new one.
I grabbed another one.
Drinking microphone, Elk Grove.
Mic check 1 2, I believe this is. Yep, check 1 2 from the guys at Microphone Elk Grove. Great people, good beer.
I'm gonna have to bring some standards in here. You're not drinking it out of a glass. What is wrong with you? If you've been down to the Britain Yankee pub, you would know everybody gets a glass, even if it's Schlitz.
I always, you know, if it's available in a can, it's available in a can. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't like doing dishes.
We don't have our glassware in yet either.
We don't have glassware. I don't like doing dishes, and you know.
All right, well, guys, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, your 90-hour week, which is probably like 10 right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I just want to have a quick, we've kind of gone a bit long on this one, but we've been having a good time, so hopefully everybody will enjoy it. I just want to say that this Wolf Den beer is really, really interesting. It's not your usual Doppelbock style, but there's just a certain, that wood that they've got in it, I can't really describe it. It just appeals to my taste. So that's a good one. Go out and get some of that for your
What was that wood again?
That is the uncommon denominator Doppelbock. Guys, Mr. Ken, thank you very much indeed for joining us once again. No dog today?
No dog. He's downstairs.
Okay. Cheers to you. Thank you, Jay. I like the thing that's twirling out your head. I never asked you about that, but are you taking up being a barber or something?
No, my dad just, he likes to decorate things and whatever he finds in the street. So.
Okay. There's a barber who's going around going, where's my bloody pole gone? Some bugger's nicked it, I'll tell you.
I think he just has it up there because he wants me to cut my hair, and we know I'm not cutting my hair. So.
And Ed and Brandon, thank you so much for taking time out. I'm going to look forward to coming there when you open up.
Hey, cheers.
Maybe we can do a live remote for the Brit Yankee podcast.
Of course, whatever you need, Phil.
All right, good man. I love it. All right, cheers, guys. Take care.
Cheers.
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 Take care.